Joaquin Buckley has issued a warning to Belal Muhammad about the potential dangers of moving up to middleweight. Recently, Belal mentioned that he was considering a move to middleweight and claimed that he could easily defeat both Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland. However, Buckley strongly disagrees. Buckley, who recently moved back down to welterweight after back-to-back losses to Nassourdine Imavov and Chris Curtis, is currently on a 6-fight winning streak since the move. He cautions Belal to reconsider his statement, emphasizing that middleweights hit significantly harder, and he doesn't believe Belal has the ability to take Dricus down.
Now, you see Belal Muhammad talking about he wants to move up, right? He could be double champ. Belal, I'm gonna just warn you right now. You don't have the tools nor the weapons to beat a person like Dricus. You're not gonna be able to take Buddy down. I'm just being honest with you, bro. You're not gonna be able to take Buddy down, nor will you be able to knock him out with them pillow hands. And no matter how much you think that, okay, I can see all the holes in this game, even if you beating up Dricus, like I said before, he's just gonna keep coming and coming and coming, and he ain't gonna stop. No, did he's not gonna stop. He's gonna always have that constant pursuit after you. And if you don't have things that's going to hinder him or pretty much slow him down or stop him in his tracks, he gonna beat you. And he gonna beat you in a way where you ain't never been beat before, right? Because now with a person like yourself, right, where you a 170 fighter, if you moving up in a different weight class, bro, I'm telling you, bro, they hit a little bit different up there, bro. Trust me, I know. That's why my ass went down to 170, I swear to God. So if you dealing with
Belal Muhammad has made it clear once more that he's not interested in fighting Islam Makhachev. He said he'd rather move up to middleweight, giving Islam the opportunity to go for the welterweight title and potentially become a double champ instead of facing him now.
Thought it would be in that mix.
Now, what about if he says you got to fight Islam?
I would never fight Islam because that's different. For me and him, it's
I know
like,
it is, right?
We've trained together,
Right.
and you know, when you're sweating with somebody and you're bleeding with somebody and you train with somebody like that, it's just a different relationship. So like it wouldn't be about money for me or for him. I don't assume. So like I would never want to do that. And like they've helped me so much. So for me, I would rather go up to 185 and let him just take 170 if that's the case. And like since I've already had to fight my way up to 170 and I've been top 10 guys, like I'm 2 fights away from being able to challenge at 185 and saying, hey, I want to be double champ.
What do you walk around at weight-wise?
Probably like 190.
So 185 is no problem for you?
Oh, no, 185 wouldn't be no problem. And I train with bigger guys.
Yeah.
So I've felt their strength. And a lot of, like, I think 185 is probably the easiest weight class besides Hamzat. Like, when you look at that main event this
He's
weekend,
an animal, yeah.
You're like, bro, Strickland and Du Plessis suck.
Strickland, I can't stand watching him fight anymore. Du Plessis he's the champ for a reason.
Yeah.
Chael Sonnen doesn't think Alex Pereira will stick around in the light heavyweight division for long. Pereira is currently in camp, getting ready to defend his title against Magomed Ankalaev next month. Chael believes that win or lose, Pereira will make the jump up to the heavyweight division after that fight. On his YouTube channel, Chael said, if Pereira wins, he's going to be looking for something else to do, and if Pereira loses, he's gone. I feel like many of you have forgotten how Pereira got to 205 pounds. He did not get to 205 by cleaning out 185. He got to 205 by losing at 185. That's what opened the door. No belt, no vacate, a move right up. So no matter what happens after Ankalaev, things are going to be very different for Pereira. I predict he's moving up, and the ticking time bomb of Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall carrying this on and dragging this out, that time bomb reaches midnight as soon as Pereira is done with his piece of business with Ankalaev, win or lose. Caio Borralho recently gave his take on how he thinks Dricus Du Plessis would match up against both Khamzat Chimaev and Alex Pereira. He believes that either Dricus or Khamzat could come out on top in a fight between them. But when it comes to Alex, Caio thinks Alex would get the better of Dricus. He went on to say he doesn't have a beautiful game, but he makes it work. He has heavy hands and a strong chin. His best quality, in my opinion, is that Even when he is tired, he keeps the same pace. He is always very disciplined on his strategy, and he never leaves a punch without an answer. Every time I doubt Dricus, he won. So I think it would depend pretty much on his understanding of Khamzat Chimaev's game. I don't think so. In my opinion, Chimaev would win, but after all I saw Dricus doing, it wouldn't surprise me if Dricus won instead. On Alex, Caio continued, Pereira would kill him. Pereira is really effective on distance control and reach. Dricus makes a lot of mistakes, and against Pereira, you cannot commit mistakes. You make a mistake and you are dead. I truly think Dricus would be knocked out. Recently, Francis Ngannou has said he is still open to fighting Jon Jones, but at this point, he doesn't see it happening. Ngannou believes that when the UFC was trying to re-sign him, they used the idea of a potential Jon Jones fight as bait to try to bring him back, but weren't going to deliver on it. Ngannou gave Jones credit for his career at light heavyweight, but absolutely destroyed him as a heavyweight by pointing out that he has barely done 3 rounds. In a recent interview with Sportsbook Review, Francis said, if you can get past Dana White, it could happen, but that's a massive obstacle. But personally, I don't care. I'm doing well. I'm doing my stuff at my pace. I don't care. That won't change my sleep. For me, finishing my career without fighting Jon Jones would be okay. I have tried to fight Jon Jones for 4 years since I fought Jairzinho Rozenstruik back in 2020. I've been trying to fight Jon Jones, and then they were holding it out like a trap until the moment I was about to leave, and then they said, okay, here's the Jon Jones fight, but it was bait. I felt they were very tricky. Yes, Jon Jones would be a great fight, a fantastic fight. I've always hoped for that fight, but my hope and my expectation for that fight have faded over time. I have a lot of fights to get measurement of his light heavyweight career, and I have way less to look at him as a heavyweight. I think he's by far the best light heavyweight. His cage time as a light heavyweight was over a decade. At heavyweight, he has 2 fights. He has barely done 3 rounds. Alex Pereira is feeling pretty confident that the UFC will back the idea of a boxing match between him and heavyweight champion Oleksandr Usyk. This comes after Usyk mentioned that he wants Pereira to be his retirement fight. Speaking to TNT Sports, he said, first is who wins the next fight on February 22nd? Next, maybe a show fight with Alex Pereira, maybe, why not? Alex will be defending his UFC light heavyweight title against Magomed Ankalaev next month at UFC 313. In response to Usyk's comments, Alex said, I've said that before that I would really like to do a boxing match, and was asked against who. I said it would have to be against the champion, and he's the champion, and now he's given an interview and mentioned my name. That's something I want, and he also wants it, and both organizations, boxing and the UFC, are working kind of together now. So I believe this fight can happen. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos.